Except it couldn't be. Nor was it, according to the data from all the other sensors whose readouts T-Bolt had also thoughtfully displayed. The thing didn't register on any of them. It gave off no signals. It reflected no light or radio waves. It had no mass. It wasn't there, except it blocked the light of the stars beyond it. I looked closer. It also wasn't a hole. It only looked that way because the display was 2D mode. "Ernie," I said to the ship AI, "convert main display to 3D." The display reconfigured itself into a cylinder, revealing that the hole was really a sphere. One thing hadn't changed, though. Our projected trajectory led straight into it. "Ernie," I said, "are you trying to miss that thing?" "Affirmative," replied the ship. "Under current energy use restraints, however, I am unable to generate sufficient delta V to avoid it." I looked at the data again. No wonder. The black sphere was fully half the size of Io, my current moon of residence. "How come this hasn't been charted? Why doesn't it have warning beacons around it?" I demanded of no one in particular. "Because it wasn't there until approximately 5 minutes ago, just before I woke you," T-Bolt said. "It popped into existence out of nowhere? Something of that size?" "It popped into existence out of nowhere, but it wasn't that size," T-Bolt said. "When sensors registered it, it was only a few meters in diameter." I stared at him. He looked back, unblinking. I looked back at the display again. Sure enough, the thing was growing, rapidly. "Great," I muttered. "Ernie, can you generate the necessary delta V if I lift energy use restraints?" Ernie's energy came from a working antique of a fusion reactor, which tells you all you really need to know about the age and general decrepitude of my ship. Energy use restraints were really fuel restraints, the fuel in question being deuterium, of which we had a far from unlimited supply. "Affirmative," said the ship. Well, that was something. "Ernie, if you use sufficient energy to keep us from colliding with that thing, will we have enough deuterium reserves remaining to make the necessary changes in trajectory and velocity to return to Io?" "Affirmative," the ship said. I let out a relieved breath. It was premature. "However," Ernie continued, "we will no longer be able to capture the target." I winced. That hunk of space junk was the only slim hope I had of paying off Galioto, or at least paying him enough to convince him I was worth more to him alive than dead. I glanced at T-Bolt again. Should we just accept collision with that thing? It doesn't seem to have any mass. It's not giving off any energy. Maybe it's just an optical illusion. T-Bolt looked at the display, then at me. "No," he said. And of course he was right. If even photons couldn't pass through it, it seemed unlikely something the size and mass of the Ernest Cox could. I conceded defeat. "Fine," I said. I looked back at the display. "Ernie, all energy restrictions are lifted. Target capture is no longer a priority. Avoid colliding with that anomaly at all costs." I realized what I'd said and hastily rephrased. At all costs congruent with maintaining the health and safety of T-Bolt and me." "Affirmative," Ernie said. "This is an acceleration warning. Secure cabin. Shaver drive engaging in 60 seconds. Impulse duration 49 seconds. Grav web cannot fully compensate. Project 4.23 Gs. 4 point... Crap. Large, expensive, well-appointed space vessels and space stations not only had grav webs that could be set at any level they desired, they also had far more effective inertial dampers than the Ernest Cox. Both grav webs and inertial dampers are near magical technology I cannot begin to explain the workings of, for the very good reason that I don't have a clue. They date back to the days of interstellar travel. So does the Shaver space drive, which allows ships to maneuver around the solar system in days or weeks, rather than years or decades. I don't know how it works either, although I do know it emits a lovely purple glow while doing so. I also know how...